Welcome back. All right, another news of the day video for your Wednesday, October the 4th. Again, less than a week until the start of the season, and preseason's winding down. The waiver wire's busy. But let's go ahead and take a look towards next season first. So Gary Bettman talking to the Board of Governors and apparently telling owners that the cap next year will likely be between 87 and 88 million. Very preliminary numbers based on where they feel that they are with their revenues currently and what they're projecting for this season. So keeping in mind this season's salary cap is 83.5 million, a rise to 87 or 88 million could be a big difference maker for some teams, and I'm sure there are others that would look at that and say, we need 90 or 95 million. Of course, when you project out far enough, the projection is for the following season, it'll likely be around $92 million, and then beyond that, it would keep growing. That is the expectation. We'll see how things go. Things sometimes don't go to plan. That being said, looking at the waiver wire today, the Anaheim Ducks waiving Haig as well as Colton White. Haig, a veteran defenseman, see if he clears. Probably does. Harrington was released from his professional tryout by the Ducks. He reports to the San Diego Gulls. Most of the players released from their tryouts, I've noticed, then report to the AHL franchise instead. The Boston Bruins have waived Jason Magna. Yes, Jason Magna is still playing and still giving it a shot with the Bruins. Brett Murray has been waived by the Buffalo Sabres, so we'll see again how many of these end up clearing. Interesting to me that Kara's on waivers for the Minnesota Wild, in that I thought he was just on a tryout. Lettieri, Mermis, and Patan also on waivers for the Minnesota Wild as they cut down their roster. New Jersey Devils waive Cal Foote. So, again, another one we'll see if he clears. Probably does, right? Jankowski gets waived by Nashville. That seems to be an annual thing now with Jankowski that he ends up on waivers. Gavanke has been waived by San Jose. I believe that's how it's pronounced. But, yeah, Leon was sent down. They've also signed Quentin Musty to his entry-level contract, so first-round draft pick. I do talk about the first-round draft pick signing their entry-level contracts, not everybody else, because some days you get a whole bunch of them. And who knows how many of them actually make the National Hockey League. But for San Jose, a team that's in a rebuild, Musty being able to develop, that's important, and so they get him signed. Jeffrey Viel has been waived by the Winnipeg Jets. Not a huge surprise there. Viel, in the game that I was watching, he played well enough for a fourth liner, but also took a couple of penalties, and he is more of an enforcer than your standard fourth liner, so he'll probably get called up at points during the year, but he's going to start the season with the Manitoba Moose. So for Ottawa fans, there's some reason for alarm. Not a lot of alarm, but some alarm. Not the kind that'll turn you into a zombie, but anyways. Josh Norris has had a setback in his return from shoulder surgery. So for Norris, Bruce Garriock reporting this has to be a major red flag that he's had a setback. Not a lot of word on how long he may be out. The thing is, if he ends up on LTIR, which would be if he's going to miss 10 games or 28 days of the schedule, now you have the salary cap space to sign Pinto, right? But it also means that there's greater reason to go out and try to sign Shane Pinto immediately if you feel like Norris is going to be out for a while. So Josh Norris, a player who's looking to be healthy after only playing 8 games last year, having a setback in his return from the shoulder injury, that's tough, right? Both Sokolov and Bernard Docker amongst those who cleared from yesterday. So what this tells you is that Sokolov and Bernard Docker, there is virtually no market for said players. They've been sent down to the AHL along with other players who were waived yesterday. Again, you can look and see if maybe a team trades for them after they've cleared waivers, but in all likelihood, probably not going to be the case. And so it's, on the one hand, Dorian looks smart waiving them. On the other hand, you can point and go, weren't these guys supposed to be good young prospects for this team? And that would be accurate as well. For the Calgary Flames, Pelche does have his shoulder surgery, and it's seen that he's going to be out for a long term. I haven't seen an exact time frame yet on Pelche, how long he's going to be out. As I've mentioned previously, that likely opens up a spot for Coronado if there wasn't one there already, which, spoiler alert, there probably was. Coronado having quite the preseason, which should allay some of the fears that maybe Flames fans would have over Pelche not being able to play to start the season, and he might be out for quite some time. So all the best to Pelche in his recovery. In the PTO department, Detroit has released Artem Anisimov from his professional tryout. tryouts ending all around the NHL. I apologize if there's ones that I've missed, and there likely are. There are some players I saw getting released from tryouts that I didn't remember seeing them as listed as getting a tryout, nor did I recognize the names of said players. But it is that time of year where you start sending those PTOs home if you're not going to sign them, because you're trying to get your 23-man roster for the start of the season set. So that's what's going on right now. And as I've mentioned before, we make a big deal over who does or doesn't make those rosters. And then within a couple of weeks at the start of the season, a lot of the times injury means the guys that you're upset didn't make it for this year's season to start the year, they end up being up pretty early in the season anyways. But still an interesting time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.